What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski and welcome back to the Karsatowski Bowling YouTube channel. So for today's bowling breakdown, we have the 1987 PBA Columbia 300 Open. So let's get on to the title match. Alright, this is the title match of the 1987 PBA Columbia 300 Open, featuring Scott Devers versus Parker Bohn III. And this is another title match with two lefties. Light hit, leaving the 5-pin. Looking at his game, his balance arm isn't outstretched like you see it today, with it being in front of players and then going to their side. His is kind of like, it doesn't look like it gets used very much. And here's Parker Bohn III. Here we go. Perfect shot. At this time, I think Parker was 24. 25. He had that mustache going for a long time, and then I think in 2012 he just all of a sudden got rid of it. I'm not real sure why he decided to do that, but he and Pete Weber both had mustaches for quite a long time in their careers, and then when the 2010s came along, they decided to just go clean shaven for some reason. At this time, Parker Bohn III has never won a PBA Tour title, but he's had quite a bit of success in the few years that he's been on tour at this point. Scott Devers does not have very high backswing. And that shot actually kind of looks similar to the left lane, except that shot hooked a little bit more into the pocket. And that would be urethane. I don't know precisely what kind of urethane ball that is. Mark Roth is in the booth. They cycle through a lot of PBA pros in the booth, which I think is a really good idea. I think they need to do a little bit more of that today. They did that. They alternated between like Brian Voss and a bunch of other players in the 2000s, and over the last handful of years they've been having Chris Barnes in the booth and Jason Belmonte and a few other players who really know the sport of bowling. And you kind of need that for commentary, because the pros who bowled in those tournaments in that week know more firsthand of what's going on than Randy Peterson, who's been retired now for about the last 2 decades, and definitely more than any of the commentators like Rob Stone or anybody like that. Oh, that's trip out 6-pin for Parker. That is the equivalent of tripping out a 4-pin, obviously, for a right-hander. So, yeah, it takes good touch and good pin carry to trip out a 4-pin or 6-pin. Oh, that went really high. Down lane before it started hooking, it didn't really look like that bad of a shot. Maybe it's just further right than I realized. And Parker's game really doesn't look that much different in this match than it has over the years. His game is one of those games that has really withstood the test of time. And it's what has allowed him to have the kind of success that he's had. Yeah, here we go. Here's Scott Devers back up. Pretty good shot right there. So both players are having no trouble getting their bowling balls to the pocket for the most part. Each one of them has had one shot that is missed.
It appears that the first player that gets the first double in this match is going to have a tremendous psychological and physical advantage. So Devers will try and take full advantage of that here in the fifth. Light. No, it came up high and tripped that six. That lane is hooking.
That ball sat, and he also tripped out a six pin.
It's amazing what will happen to your confidence if you start tripping.
You don't see that too often.
Yes, sir. I can remember a few. You, Mike, you were king of tripping fours for years. Admit it.
Hi, I'm Pedro Pascal. It all begins here, the brand new chapter of Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four.
There you go, perfect shot. That's probably his best shot of the match. Parker's pretty much played that line his entire career, pretty much throwing it hard and straight, and it's worked for him. There's a handful of players who have had a lot of success throwing it straight, going left hand. Oh, they're in the back-to-back perfect strikes for Parker. There are a handful of left-handers who have had success recently by throwing it straight. Jesper Svensson is probably one of the most notable ones. But the problem with Jesper is that he is pretty much the definition of a one-trick pony, if there ever was one. Oh, Scott Devers didn't get the trip six that time. Yeah, it looks like the six pin is definitely the biggest problem for both these players. If they can just get their equipment to not go as high, then they won't have to deal with it as much. And each have had a trip six pin one time in this match. And they're managing to stay clean, so this is a pretty good scoring match. I think a lot of people don't necessarily like the pros to struggle a lot when they're bowling a match, but at the same time, a lot of people don't necessarily want bowlers to be shooting extremely low scores and missing a bunch of spares, I feel like. I feel like that a lot of people really like the going off a Dutch 200 game, or like striking every other shot and sparing every other shot, I suppose. A lot of people say that that's more or less real bowling, and averaging probably 2-0 to 2-10 in a title match instead of both players going for like 250 to 270. A lot of the best matches that have been on TV have definitely been those kind of scores, for sure, where the players won't have the lanes figured out throughout the whole match, and it's just who can close frames out the most. This match is kind of somewhere in between that. Both players have had some carry issues, but not that much, and they've managed to double and triple here and there. And that is a ham bone right there. I've had a comment on one of my last videos that back in the day we did not use the term ham bone, we used four-bagger. But let me tell you something. When was the last time you've used a bag for bowling? The only bags that I know for bowling are the ones that you put your bowling balls in. So I absolutely despise the bagger term. And Scott Devers just was denied a turkey, by the way. Yeah, that was a flat 10, and how that ball entered the pocket, that honestly could have very easily been a 7-9 split, which the match would have pretty much been over if he would have left that. Oh, he's going to miss it. Oh, my goodness. He threw that straight in the gutter. And now, there's just about no chance. Look at this shot. Yeah, it almost looks like that he lost it at the bottom, or probably had his hips a little bit too wide and just threw it straight in the gutter. But that ball started hooking early, and he trips another 6-pin. I don't even think the other pin laying on the deck touched it. I think the wind just knocked it over. Well, Parker doesn't need much, but he really needs to close frames, and he will win his first national PBA Tour title. Oh, a lot of 6-pins. That's like the 6th or 7th 6-pin between both players in 18 frames.
Trim the right hand, chew on the left. Or opposite if you're left-handed. Words of advice from a man who's gone through that a few times. At the 6-pin. I love the way he shoots those spares. Very aggressive. Right.
There you go.
Zips it right at him.
Yeah, he doesn't need much. He just needs count. Essentially just needs count.
I just want to throw some strikes that day.
Well, he shot 299 when he won his first PBA.
I couldn't even shoot 300. Nice goals. What can I say? First win, first 300. I'll take it.
And many more for the win. Ooh, needs to make the 7. Wow. Boy, he threw it pretty though, didn't he?
Well, that'll do it.
That's really the key to a great
That'll do it. The ring 10. Any other time would have been just a kick in the teeth, but that right there is just about going to do it with a spare.
Could strike out for a tie. So he must make this move. Very little time. Hard. He's got it. That's it. He's the winner. He's won his
Ooh. I thought he might have almost missed that one. And there you go. That is the winning ball for his first title. Now just a fill shot, probably goes straight up the lane. No, he goes and hooks at it. Leaves a bucket. His worst shot of the day, and it doesn't even matter. Parker Bohn III has just taken down Scott Devers, and Scott's just going to finish up here. A pretty decent game by him. The only hiccup that he had in this game really was missing that 7-pin. And that also would be his worst shot that he's had of this match.
I've been in that position where you bowled for titles, feel like you bowled pretty well, and you just didn't come up with enough. Many times.
Well, just going to pick up the spare and finish it up here. There you go. Nice cover.
Missing the 7-pin really just took all the wind out of his sails. In a title match, you just can't afford to make mistakes.
Well, I can remember back in 1983, I missed a 10-pin against Charlie Tappan in a tight match. When you do that, your opponent just says, adios.
Out here, the competition is so fierce. Most games are won and lost in the 10th frame. You open the door and they'll walk right through it. Al Devers with an outstanding
strike for the road. Oh, goes touch high. All right. Here goes. Where's the trophy sitting at? Takes a sip of water before he goes and gets a trophy. Back then, they didn't just go and grab the trophy like they do now. they actually presented to, like, what's strange is that now they grab the trophy and then the tournament director or the commissioner will actually give you the trophy as well. So they're basically holding up the trophy in celebration 2 different times nowadays. But I guess they kept that trophy locked up so that players just couldn't have it in reach, I guess. Now I think they use it as motivation, like, hey, that trophy's right there, and all you got to do is just bull button the other guy and it's yours. Well, that is Parker Bohn's first of 35 national tour titles, which to this day is the 5th most PBA Tour titles of all time, and this title is what started it all. Well, anyway, so if you all have enjoyed this PBA bowling breakdown, then be sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you'll never miss any videos. I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in that next video. See ya.